Right, so we got some breaking news. This is fresh off the press. Now, guys, I initially wanted to just make a more festive Merry Christmas style video today, wishing you and yours all the best in the new year. However, here we go. Okay, we get no reprieve from the collapse at this point in time. Things are just happening so rapidly. In the last 48 hours, the war between Iran and Israel has heated up. We've seen attacks by the Iranians on Israeli ships. We've seen Hamas deny any possibility for negotiations and peace talks and more hostages exchanges. That's not going to happen. We have the intensification on the border with Lebanon, and now we have massive cyber attacks inside Israel against their power grid right after the big one, the assassination of a high-ranking brigadier general of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, who was integral to coordinating the logistics with the Syrian-based Iranian-backed militia groups. Okay, so this is big. This thing is getting wildly out of control very, very quickly, which makes me regret possibly doing this Boxing Day sale at CanadianPreparedness.com, because I know all that stuff is going to go up in price now, because when this war finally does blow up, it's going to be bad. It's going to have implications on global shipping, on the price of oil, and just everything. So this is not good. And I really don't want to talk about this that long today. I got family stuff that we got to do. I was able to spend some good quality time with family, and I hope you did too. But let's just quickly go over the basics of what's going on there right now. So the Iranians are saying that they are going to respond to the assassination of Reza Mousavi, IRGC Brigadier General. Now, isn't it a coincidence that 4 years ago today, or not today, but 4 years ago, circa around this time, the assassination of Qasem Soleimani happened, and of course this guy was a close associate of him. That hit was authorized by Trump, and the outcome of that at that period of time, because he didn't have all this stuff happening, the Iranians fired some missiles into an American military base in Iraq. I believe it was already vacated. The Iranians gave the heads up so that it didn't go nuclear at that point in time. But right now, the shit appears to be hitting the fan, okay? The Israelis have received something in the neighborhood of a couple hundred cargo planes full of supplies since the war began, as well as a shipload of supplies every 4 days. They're preparing for a massive war. Now, apparently they are retreating in certain spots within the Gaza Strip. Now, this is significant because if they can't deal with the Gaza Strip utilizing conventional weapons, some of the best ISR that money can buy, the best weapons that money can buy, and clearly inflicting all kinds of collateral damage, then what can they do against Hezbollah? What can they do against Syria? What can they do against Iran and the Houthis? Well, I guess the answer is probably not that much. And what that means is the Samson option, the nuclear option, is most definitely on the table, because you have cyber attacks taking place right now. Now, the Israeli government is not going to admit that this was a cyber attack for a variety of different reasons. You don't want to concede that point to your enemy. You don't want to incite a panic. Now, the Iranians, at least there are groups within Iran who are protesting going to war and wanting to go to war with the Israelis as a result of the assassination of their brigadier general. There are currently protests happening in Tehran as we speak, calling for direct action against Israel as a result of this. Now, is this cyber attack? Was this a cyber attack is the question. What has happened is, let me see if I can find the details of this for you. And details are still coming out. This is not historically unprecedented. It has happened before. Okay, for some reason, I don't have all the details. Oh, here it is. A bunch of cities I cannot pronounce. The only one I can pronounce is Bir Shiva, and that's because I've heard that one several times. But according to the Israeli media, Yedioth Ahronoth, a massive power outage is being reported throughout Israel, and Netanyahu and his cabinet have been whisked away to the bunkers. Power outage in every settlement of Yesod, Hamel, Holta, Safad, Furia Ridge, Yavnel, and a bunch of other ones I cannot pronounce. Now, is this just the first in a coordinated attack? It is probably around midnight, 1, 2 in the morning there now. So that means that if you ever were going to do a coordinated attack, would this be it? I think it would be out of character for the Iranians to respond so abruptly, but this is something they could have had in their back pocket. Okay, now would they utilize such a powerful attack? Would they waste it on just bragging rights is the question. This has to be a part of a broader policy. Now, allegedly, there's also reports of thousands of Iranian militia forces currently being deployed in and around the Golan Heights near the Israeli border. And we got missile sirens near the Golan Heights. There's no updates yet whether or not missiles were fired at the Golan Heights. But this is a massive escalation. There was a command center that was destroyed in Lebanon in the last 2 days. We had that ship that was attacked by the Iranians, allegedly, according to the Americans. The Iranians deny it. They're putting this all on the Houthis. But things are heating up there wildly. Now, we do have Misc, who is recommencing shipping through there, but only for some of the big ships and only the ones that are being escorted by the U.S. Navy. Now, we're talking about, the cost that is incurred through inflation by increased shipping costs, which eventually gets passed on to the manufacturers of these products, and it makes its way down the supply chain. However, you got to ask yourself, how much is it costing the American taxpayer now to escort all these ships? Is Maersk paying the U.S. military to escort these ships? I don't know, but all I know is that this situation is getting crazy out of control, and it's only a matter of time before I think we just hit that point where it's just total chaos throughout the entire region, and perhaps that's what Israel is truly and genuinely preparing for. There were reports of a missile fired from Mount Hermon in the Golan Heights. This is, as far as I know, one of the highest points between Syria and Israel, so it's very strategically or tactically, I suppose, useful militarily. And again, these types of power outages are not unprecedented. In fact, back in April of 2023, there was another major cyber attack on Israel's power grid. Of course, they never admitted to it at that time either. This one was done by Anonymous Sudan, who claimed responsibility for it. They say that was just for amusement, but they threatened further attacks, including disrupting the internet in Israel. And of course, we have a lot of cyber activity within Iran. 70% of their gas stations were just down the other day. So you see that both of these countries are softening each other up for a major hard blow, which is likely going to come in the form of some missile barrage, some coordinated airstrike by the Israelis, perhaps on the Iranians. And I mean, the whole region could just flare up. I mean, we got 33,000 fishing vessels mobilized by the Iranians in order for them to do some sort of asymmetrical style warfare on the U.S. Navy if push came to shove. People might say, it's just a bunch of fishing vessels. But yeah, there's 33,000. That's just in addition to the Iranian Navy and all of their capabilities, their long-range missile capabilities, that they likely, and anti-ship missile capabilities that they could deploy at will. Now, I'm going to go and do a bit more research. I might do another update video in a few hours when we have more information on this. I just wanted to give people a heads up about that. These cyber threats are very real. We had some incredible cyber slowdowns in the last few days here in Canada. These were unprecedented. Okay, I was talking to a lot of retail service reps yesterday when I was out and about doing my late Christmas shopping, and a lot of them were saying that they had never seen it like this before. Okay, people were abandoning carts across the country, and it was just slow in general. And I think it's a sign that some kind of stress is being put on the system. Was it a cyber attack? I don't know. We don't have any evidence to suggest that. Again, these companies are never going to admit it. You have to go and watch the last 2 videos that we released with our cybersecurity expert who breaks it all down, okay? Puts it in simple language. Both videos are like 2.5 hours, and they'll explain a lot of these concepts that are going to become more commonplace in the mainstream in the year 2024. Guys, it's going to be a wild year, so you need to prep. I would encourage you, and I'm probably going to regret this, but we're having a 15% off Boxing Day sale across the board at CanadianPreparedness.com. This is a time to stock up on those foodstuffs that are going to go up in price in 2024. There's no doubt about it. And I say regret because what's happening in the Middle East right now, that's a primary corridor between East and West. It's going to cause commodity prices to skyrocket. The Houthis are threatening to target undersea cables. So, this situation is going to get wildly out of control. I'm going to go back. I'm going to do a little bit more research into what's going on currently on the border between Lebanon and Israel, because I think tonight this situation could possibly flare up massively. So we're going to keep our eyes on it. But until that point in time, go and capitalize. It's basically while supplies last. This is going to be a promotion that's run, I think, till the 27th. And I can guarantee you that stuff is not going to last beyond tomorrow, like a lot of the really good stuff. So go and cash in on that opportunity. 15% off. Use coupon code Boxing Day, I believe. I'll put the exact code in the comment section. And I hope you had a good chance to enjoy your family. I know I did. It was great. My kids are right at that age on the border where, they're starting to get too old to be deceived by myths about Santa Claus and things of that nature. So we just got to enjoy it while it lasts, because as the saying goes, the days go slow and the years go fast. So I'll see you on the flip side, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Canadian Prepper out.